Welcome back to part 3 of Newborn Essentials. If you haven't seen my other 2 videos and you're a first time mum and you're not really sure what you may or may not need for a baby, then please go back and see those 2. I also have a more in-depth video on my YouTube channel. There's like only a handful of videos on there. It's not like a channel. I just wanted to talk a bit more in depth on some of the baby stuff I'd been buying the last few months. So this one is clothes, like from the get-go. There's really not that much here because you don't need that much in my opinion. The first video is on smaller items like bibs, bottles, dummies, blankets, that kind of stuff. The second video has the 2 big essentials, being the pram and the capsule, and also 2 luxury items which are not essential at all. And then this one's clothes from the get-go. So the blankets and bibs and stuff I included in the first video, so they're not in this one. So I'll show you what I've got for baby girl. This is all in size 4-0. I do have a few 5-0 outfits because Sophie, my firstborn, she was small. She was 6 pound 6, I think she was. And she was in 5-0 up until about 5 weeks old. But I've only got like a handful, not even a handful, like 3 or 4 items in 5-0. The rest I've done in 4 because that's on average maybe what most babies are born with, unless they're massive. James was a big boy. He wasn't in 4-0 for very long at all. And he had a lot of 3-0 stuff, thank God. So I'll show you what I've got. So I'm going to start off with these little singlets, just little button ones. I personally like this cut. I don't like the t-shirt ones because then they get stuck. They get like bunched up under suits and stuff. So these are just 4-0 ones. My favourite are these ones that have the little rollover sleeves because then if they have a blowout or they're sick on themselves, you can roll these back and you can take it down their shoulders and take it off that way. So it's not going up over their face or their head. I think these are Kmart ones. I think Best and Less ones also have the little fold over shoulders. I could be wrong though. But I love those. I usually get them in a few sizes. They come in a pack of 5, I think. And even though she's born in the middle of summer, I don't know how much I'm really going to need these, but I just wanted them anyway because I still might have cold nights. Then we've got mittens. I didn't really use mittens much with Soph. But with James, he was really bad at scratching his face because Sophie liked to be swaddled, James did not. And if you've been around babies before or are not sure, their nails are quite long when they're born and they're like paper. They're very thin, but they cut, like they're really sharp. And even though I trim them like that day or like a couple of days, I'll trim them, they're still so rough, like scratching their own face and stuff. So I've just got a couple of little packs of mittens just in case. One of my very, very lovely friends just bought me this yesterday, actually, a little Toshi baby hat. So you can tighten it around the head and tie up around under the chin if you want, but they're not really moving them off their head. But I recommend maybe having at least one little baby hat, just to protect their head, because my kids are born baldies. Then we've got socks. I've got heaps of socks in this tub. This has got 3-0 and 2-0 and a couple of things in there. Obviously didn't bother to get them all out because we all know what socks look like. So I've got a few little pairs of socks. They're literally like the cutest little thing in the world. They look bigger on camera than they are in person, but so cute. And I also have a little pair of booties. I think these were actually Sophie's and I've used them for each baby. But, indigestion. But yeah, I've just got one little pair of those. I think they're so cute. Like all the grandmas, got to keep their feet warm. These are my 4-0 suits. As you can see, I've got like 9. These ones, that's actually just a little long sleeve top. That's not a full body suit. So I've got 8, but this one and this one were actually Sophie's. They're really sweet, so I'm glad I kept them. I think that one might have, I'm not sure. Anyway, so I've just got all these ones. So many people say don't get ones with clip buttons, just get ones with zips. Yes, zips are easier, but these are really not that hard. Like some people make it seem so dramatic. Like, oh, in the middle of the night, you can't do them up. Like, no, it's really not that hard. These ones just have the one way, so you really can't get it wrong. Some have that one where that comes down both ways. Even my husband learnt to do these like half awake in the middle of the night. Like they're really not that hard, the other ones. But literally you just unbutton them to like here anyway. or here even, I don't know. So I'm not against buttons. Yes, zips are easier, but if you find like some nice ones that are cheap, or a big pack of them or whatever that have the snap buttons, they're like, don't shy away from them. They're really not that bad, I don't think. Then I've got some little bows because, you know, they're just gorgeous on little babies. These were from Best and Less, I think, and they're only one size, but we'll see how the size goes once you see. I reckon they'll be a little bit big to start off with. But I like how they're the nice thick band and they're really, really soft material. They're not the hard elastic ones, which I'm not necessarily against, but like if they can be more comfortable, then that's the most important thing. So got a little pack of bows, and then these are the only like outfits that she has in 40. They came in a little pack, I think, for 2, or was it this one and then this one? I actually don't remember. For some reason, no, I think it was a pack of like the pants and then the tops actually. But I thought they were cute because you can like switch them over. And just have a couple of little ones, and they're quite thin. Because again, she's a little summer baby. She's my first summer baby. The other 2 were like winter and the very beginning of spring. So I'm not really sure how warm I'm going to need to keep her. Otherwise, I think I have, like, if it's a really hot day, she might even end up just in a singlet with like a little light muslin blanket over the top of her. Who knows? So that's all I have in 40 for her to start off with from the get-go. Like I said, I've got some more socks. Yeah. That's really all she's got. She might just be in a bodysuit, or she might be in a singlet with some pants. Or she might, you know, I might even get a couple of just like little, I might get the short sleeve little snap bodysuit, not with the legs, just the top one. And she might just be in them. Like, I'm really not sure what she's going to end up being. Like I said, I've not had a baby this time of year. When you've got a newborn, you usually have to keep them pretty warm because they can't regulate their body temperature. But yeah, we'll see. I've got quite a few 30s. I've got a bit of everything in that size, like bodysuits, or I've got like these, the long sleeve snap suits that you can just wear with some little pants. Yeah, I've got a bit in that size because like I'm just going off what I did with Sophie. James was a really big baby. Sophie was very little, and even though I'm not expecting her to be quite as small as Sophie, because she had like things going on while I was pregnant that helped contribute to her being a bit smaller. But Sophie was in sizes for months. Like, she was in 40s for like maybe 2 or 3 months before she went to 30s. Whereas James seemed to go up a size like every 4 to 6 weeks. I'm not even joking. It was just insane. And I always buy too much clothes for my babies, for sure. I'm surprised I don't have more for this one. I've really had to restrain myself. I don't have any beanies, and my kids, like I think I mentioned before, are born bald, or pretty much bald. They've got a little bit of hair, but obviously it kind of rubs off. I thought I had a couple of beanies, but I don't. But I think I might just grab 1 or 2 because, oh no, I've got one. This was actually made when Sophie was in the hospital. One of the midwives gave it to her. Looks very red on camera. It's a lot more of a purpley plum in real life. And even though it's not like, you know, the nicest looking beanie, I mean, it's still sweet, but it was hand knitted. I almost got very tongue-tied. And one of the midwives gave it to her because she was absolutely taken with Sophie. And the 2 nights I was there, she kept coming in and taking Sophie for a few hours during the night for a cuddle while she was working. And she gave this one to Sophie, and I've just always kept it because it's just really sweet. But depending on when your baby's born, if you're having like a winter baby, even autumn or spring really, I would grab a couple of beanies to keep their head warm because they can lose a lot of heat out of their head. So definitely pop that one on the list if you haven't already. I think that's everything. I don't bother with any kind of shoes or anything until they're actually walking. To me, they're pretty much pointless unless they're like little like booties or something to keep them warm if they're like middle of winter. Like, and socks just aren't always gonna just cut it. More for like warmth than like style, but that's just me. You do you, boo. But yeah, that's all I have for her off the get-go for a newborn baby.